So whenever you're starting out with a new model, it's good practice to just find out what you've got, what you're working with, look at the attributes, look at the geometry itself, see if you need to do any cleaning up or preparation before you start to fracture and divide up the geometry. We're also looking for, obviously, the way that we're going to be simulating this bridge. We're going to be doing various different simulations. We've got cables, we've got the road, we've got metal bending, so we're going to need to separate and isolate different areas, and we need to look for ways of selecting those pieces of geometry and hopefully be able to do it procedurally, not literally selecting polygons and points, which would take a long time with a complex model. So first of all, jump right into the geometry spreadsheet, see what we've got. Got all these FBX transforms and just the standard position information there. And then on the vertices, we've got an alpha, which is just 1 on all of them, I think, anyway. A color, we've got normals and UVs, so that's great. On our primitives, we've got a name attribute, which can be very useful, and a shop material path, which can be useful. So obviously for guiding which textures go where, but also we can use these for dividing and separating different areas. And then detail a couple of things that we don't need. So we want pretty much everything. We don't want the color here, the alpha. Well, we'll leave that on, but I'm going to get rid of these FBX attributes here. So I'm going to find an attribute delete. Okay, so just put a star here. That will get rid of all of them. Vertex, we'll get rid of the color there. Keep the alpha just in case that affects the textures in some way. I know it's all just set to 1, but we'll keep it anyway. Normal we want. Okay, primitive, we'll keep both of them, and the detail attributes, we'll get rid of that as well. We don't need it. Cool. Go back here. Since this is taking quite a while to load, let's just set it to wireframe, and then you can see it's much quicker now. Excuse me. Another thing I do, so before the next part, you can see it's kind of clipping there. If we press D on the keyboard, go into, I can never find this scene. No. Where are you? View. And then set this to neither clip pane, and then just set this to a lower value, 1 or 0.1, whatever. It depends on the scale of what you're doing. And then I'm just going to kind of zoom in. I'm going to go a bit smaller. Just go to 0.1. There we go, so I can get in nice and close. So what I'm going to do now is grab my selection tool, press 9 on the keyboard, and mine's already set to 3D geometry. If not, then come here to this cog and go to 3D connectivity. So now we're selecting by 3D connectivity, and then I'm just going to do this to kind of inspect, what's one piece, what's a 3D connected piece in my geometry. So if I come here to this kind of connection box thing and start looking around, so that's one piece of geometry. That's another piece on the side. That's another piece. You can see it's kind of, there's a single polygon there. There's a group of polygons there. It's kind of, doesn't seem right to me. You'd imagine somebody modeling this would model these. This is one piece. Maybe the whole cable is one piece. It kind of looks like it is, but then there's another polygon on the side there. So it tells me, there's something strange is going on. So what I would do is drop a fuse. Well, actually, since this is a big model, I might, just select all of these, press delete. oh, not delete unused, sorry, delete non-selected. That will delete everything else, just so this goes a bit quicker. Let's go back into smooth wire shaded, right? And then just kind of just do that same thing again, so you can see, you know, where these colors are. I want to make this a bit closer. There we go. So where these colors are different, so there we've got, you know, points on the along here, which should be joined, right? If we look at the point numbers, why are we not seeing that? Maybe because we're in selection mode. Seems to be something wrong with the scene view here, possibly. Let me just open another spacebar and F to open this. There we go. Yeah, something wrong there. You can see it wasn't kind of updating, so I'm just going to delete that one and go in here. So if we take a look at the points numbers, it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but and go back into that selection mode. Just 9. 3D connectivity, right? You can kind of start to see that we've got overlapping points, basically, is you know, what I'm trying to get at. So here, so maybe if I do that, oh, turn off, press 9 again to turn that off. Go here, so there, it looks like I'm just selecting one point. If we go up to the geometry spreadsheet, go into points, come here, only show selected, I've got 3 points there, okay, and they're all overlapping in this, you know, so we've got different pieces of geometry, so we don't want that. We want them to be, you know, all together as one point. So what do we do? Use a fuse to connect them together, right? So let's drop in a fuse and then press 9 again, and now you can see we're getting something that makes a bit more sense. We got all of this is one piece, that's one piece. Okay, we're getting something that looks a bit more usable in terms of simulation, right? There's no points that seem to be occupying the same space. I'll be careful with this, right? Because it can, if you've got very fine details, so I'm gonna come back. I'm going to get rid of that, the blast. Okay, set this to wireframe a moment because I'm going to move around and just look for a piece of geometry that I know this causes problems with and show you. So you can see this gate thing here. If I turn the fuse off, you'll see, you know, we're losing all that geometry because, you know, the points here are close together. So I'm just going to drop this down to 0.0001. Fuse back on. There we go. So we're not losing that geometry, and then turn this bypass back on, and we've still got you know, the geometry looking good, looking usable. Great. Okay, and then finally I'm just going to move the whole thing. So we'll get rid of this blast. Don't need to do that. It's just for diagnostics. Turn that on. Press 9 to get rid of that selection thing. Okay, you can either use wireframe, but you can also do, when you're, you know, moving big, you know, the whole model around, you can just set it to bounding box. So that's it's just a bounding box around my model, and there's my origin point. So I just want to move this over, so it's pretty much central, something like that. If we press spacebar on 2, we can view from the top, and I'm just looking at these. We got 2 and a bit, 2, 3 and a bit. Maybe I'll just shift it over a little bit more, 17.5. More or less 3 and a bit on each side. Okay, and another thing to notice as well is if you take a look at the point count, we got 3,300,000 there, and before the fuse we've got 6,600,000, so pretty much got half the points that we had before. So it should be much quicker now, be easier to work on this now. Great.